Hey guys, hey guys. Welcome to another episode of Hello World with your girl Joy from Be the Difference Clothing. How is everyone doing today? I hope you're doing lovely. I hope you're doing wonderful. I hope that life is bringing excitement into your life and that you are being just as detail oriented and very selective with how you handle all of the aspects of your life and daily interactions and what have you. My name is Joy, and I am the founder of Be the Difference Clothing. And I don't really talk about it that much, but it is what it is. It's the truth of it all. And we are on a mission to try to inspire as many people as possible. And the one way that we are doing that is by coming live and sharing different things and, creating different uh, sayings and words that are used daily, but just putting it right there in your face so that you can absorb it and absorb it, and become it more and more. You know what? The one thing about this design, it says kindness starts with me. The one thing about this design that I find so interesting is that a lot of people like what it says, but they're afraid to wear it. You want to know why they're afraid to wear it? Because they say that they're not kind. And I'm just like, we can't be so hard on ourselves to the point where just because we don't, just because we may not be kind 95% of the times means that we can't hold true to something that is true to our spirit. So I challenge all of us, and including myself, I'm not kind all the time either. But the more I see this, the more I know I have to live by it. Because here at Be the Difference Clothing, it's not just clothing, it's a way of life. Oh, we have a member. We have a member. And it's Wellness with Frugal Mama. Hey, lady, how you doing? Ooh, we have a member. We have a member. No, we got two members. And it's like when Nicole Marie and Gary. We were just sending well wishes and prayers up for Gary yesterday. So I'm glad you're doing well. I got the report. Shout outs to the wellness and all of our wishes and prayers that went up. And now today you are feeling a lot better than you were yesterday. So that is just how quickly things can change in our lives. Nothing is inevitable except for the very next step that we make that can transcend or make the next step be either great, greater, worse, or at its maybe just stand still, whatever. But anyway, before I go on, let's talk about my day. So I woke up this morning and I went to work. Work was work, it's just another day. I made it, I survived. And how are you guys doing? What's going on with you? Definitely. Hey Tim, how you doing? Definitely. If you can, like, subscribe, and share, it'd be greatly appreciated. Um, Yesterday was amazing. We had our Cyber Monday sale, and some people did take advantage of it, and I appreciate that. But the most important thing about that is whatever items people decided to support, they're actually going to wear it. And that means that they're going to be doing their part by inspiring some people without even saying a word or a word in whatever part of the country or states they're in. That's amazing. And we do it all the time when we show up in each other's lives, when we have our lives, and when we participate in different parts of our lives. i.e., going to the supermarket, driving, interacting on telephones, whatever the case may be. We are all making different strides in being the difference, good, bad, ugly, or whatever. So I send you some more. um, so today is about something that's been very interesting to me that I think is worth discussing because I mentioned this on Hello World many times ago. The fact that we are all one step, one moment, one instance away from losing everything. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to mainstream media. And of course, you guys know I don't watch TV. So everything that I see or get or absorb is through social media and YouTube from time to time. And the biggest headline is about one of um, a very high profile music mogul. And I'm not even going to name their names because it is irrelevant. But I will use the example, as I said before. I don't care if you're a billionaire, a millionaire, a thousandaire, you could lose it in an instant. And with the way the cookie is crumbling, it looks like this particular mogul is losing everything. Never ever believe that you can't have it all and lose it all just like that. It may have taken you a long time to get to the status that you wanted to attain to or wish that you could get to or arrived, but you can fall down a slippery slope very quickly. You guys know how avalanches work. You know how snow can become a big, avalanche where it's like, no, well, no snow goes down. And then all of a sudden it gains more momentum and turns into this really big thing. And all of a sudden more snow comes down and takes everything around it. I don't like to be the type of person to ever point out somebody's mishaps or mistakes or bad things. But however we get our life together or get the things in life, the good things in life is the same way that we could lose it. So tread very lightly on how you get to the next level in whatever you try to pursue. Some of us, we're pursuing different statuses in our jobs. And I will say this, depending on what level you're trying to get to, be careful of who you have to knock out the way in order to get to. Because the same way you knock people out the way behind closed doors would be the same way you become very publicly criticized and ridiculed. So I say this to say that we should all try our very best to do things in decency and in order. It's just that simple. Hey Jay, how you doing? It's just that simple. What are you willing to do to get to the next level? How many toes are you willing to smash? How many lives are you willing to ruin just so that you could have it all? And this is a very real topic because we all see it in our corporate Americas. I don't care what level you're at. I don't care what job you have. There's always going to be a few people who feel like they have to be overly compensated by all of the accolades that people give them by stepping on other people's toes, stepping on other people's lives, and trying to crush other people. And the same way you step over, crush, karma will always have the last say. And I know this because I've seen it happen many occasions, and we see it very publicly as this particular mogul is being mollywopped all over social media. And what they're accused of doing, they deserve it. I'm very, 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 very not tolerant of violence and violating other people. So, if we ever see shreds of video proof, photographs, or any other things that show this is positively 100% accurate, then take them out however way you can. And everything that you have done is going to come back. How about this YouTube game, right? We want to get a little bit more realistic, right? Because we're all on the same level. We all know YouTube. We all have our thing on YouTube. Some of us are genuinely and truly just out here trying to grow, glow, inspire, and probably do this as a hobby. Then you got other people on this platform who want to grow, crush, annihilate, and get at the top of their game. But what we quickly and so easily forget is that karma does come back, whether it be relevant or shown through a YouTube thing or in personal life. You're going to get it. You are going to get it. So please, 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 please be careful how you treat people. Let me think. When was it that I was talking about that? Probably like 3 years ago. I would want to say 3 years ago, just to be on the safe side. I want to say about 3 years ago. Something hit me like, you know what? We're all one step away from being broke. That's why I say I don't care and I don't treat anyone who has way more than me any different than when I would treat my own self. Because we're no different. We're still bleeding the same type of color blood. We still have human emotions. We still have come from traumas. We're still healing from traumas. Some of us recognize those traumas. Others of us don't, but we're still going through something. So the dollar sign behind your name means nothing. Hey, Canada City, how you doing? Good to see you. Exactly. Go home, do your job, and go home. But no, 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 no. I'm gonna tell you the root of reason why. I'm going to tell you the root and reason why people always feel like they can outwardly try to ruin other people's lives by trying to control them because they have no control over their own lives. They have no confidence in their own self. They have no discipline in their own self. But what goes up must come down, goes up. Even people have reached the highest of heights and did nothing wrong. You're still going to have to come down at some point. That's the thing, y'all. We all have to come back down eventually. We're not going to stay riding that same high forever. It's going to be peaks and valleys. So what makes you think that you're so much more elevated than someone else? Because what goes up must come down. But why don't you come down gracefully with some integrity and still be able to maintain all of the things that you built yourself upon? I just don't understand it. I really don't understand it. But it shows evidence that their trauma is that they have no control. But until these people or persons learn why they lost control and what they need to regain control over their lives, they're always going to seek mastery of everything else and everyone else. If we're not doing that mirror work, if we don't selectively try to do some mirror work, you may become publicly ridiculed in that same aspect and area of your life that you try to dominate and force other people to believe and respect you for. Your reign of terror is almost over. So you might as well try to right some of those wrongs and be good and be kind. And use that same energy that you had to slam other people to propel the same ones or others that deserve to have something more. Working hard does not equate to you crushing others. So that, some people think that's what working hard means. Well, if I want to work hard, then I have to do better than you. What kind of nonsense is that? You just, why? Who taught you that? Are we all that so far away from reality and from actually having empathy that we think that the best way to get to life, the joys of life, is by crushing others? That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Hey Terry, how you doing? Good to see you. But overall, this same situation that we're seeing on about this mogul and how they just ruined so many people's lives, and we've all known it for so long. Like, are we all kind of guilty too? No, I don't think we're all guilty, but I think the people who were in direct proximity of what was going on just didn't have the courage or the heart to say something. I don't know. I'm not judging anybody. I can't judge anybody because if any one of us may have been in any of those situations or circumstances as they were going down, we don't know how we would act either or react. Because it's real. Some people really do have that kind of power where they can turn your lights off, they can turn your switch off, and they can turn your life off. And who wants that? Right? Because everybody wants to go home to their families. But as we may have it, karma does have its way. So I always ask all of us, including myself, do you want to be on the good side of karma or on the bad side of karma? Do we want to continue to ignore our signs and the sign of being good and putting good things into this world? Or do we want to do our part and share goodness and share our expertises in whatever area that we can? Like, we all have a little bit of encouragement in our souls. Is that open? Are you open for that? How many people have you encouraged today? Hmm? How about that? How many people have you encouraged today? How many people have you smiled at today? How many people have you said, I love you today? Have you said you love yourself today? Have you looked at how beautiful you are today? How many of us have decided and dedicated time to grow today, emotionally? How many of us have dedicated some time to grow spiritually? Every single time I come on this platform or any platform where I'm live, it's always going to be consistently the same message. What are we doing to make our communities better? What are we doing to make our lives better? What are we doing to grow in ourselves so we can better pursue our purposes? That's always going to be the same. It's not going to change because it is a daily battle from the time we wake up to the time we rest our heads. It's a daily battle on whether we want to do good or bad and whether we want to act out or hold ourselves together, have discipline. How many of us are willing to hold people accountable? Like, seriously, hold them accountable for the things that they do? Or are we going to be willing to wait for karma to take care of them? How many times, okay, let's put it this way. How many times were you put in a position where you could have said something because you were the person that needed to say something, but just did not say something because you were afraid? You just did yourself a disjustice and the person or people that you were supposed to say whatever you were supposed to say to. It's hard. It's very hard. I can only imagine it being very hard when you're put into a direct position to have to relay some bad or see, that's where our ego gets in the way. I know people always say, it's easier to discipline a child because, they're not on the same level as you. But what about when it comes to, saying the hard truth to your boss or your coworker? Do you think you're out of place for doing that? Why do we have to? I mean, like, what if you do it in a nice way? Have we become so afraid of telling the truth, even if we can relay it in a nice way? So then, like, who's at fault? I don't know. That's really hard to that is, I believe, something very hard to try to address. The elephant that's right in the room, but you're so afraid to address. Then when you get home, back home, you want to go be like, well, I should have said this. If I said this, then it would have been like you didn't. So you don't know how the response would have been. I'm just saying, if you know God, your maker, creator, whoever you believe in, is leading you to say something, just trust that it's not going to always negatively affect you because you said and relayed a truth that needed to be stated. If you do it in kindness with no malintentions, I believe you'll be all right. I believe it. But we all have to come to that point in our lives where we're okay with just saying, well, so be it. If that's what has to be done, that's what has to be done. But that takes a lot of faith in the unseen, knowing that your maker's going to take care of you, God is going to take care of you, your team is going to take care of you. Because I believe no good deed goes unnoticed. It may seem like it's unnoticed initially, but it pays off in the long run. And look at how many lives you could save. Okay. Look at how many egos you can save just by doing something that you were supposed to do, but you didn't want to do. Oh my goodness, it reminds me of Moses, right? He was afraid to free all the Egyptians